Hello, this is Paulo Leite, record collector. Today I am in beautiful Budapest and I will visit Lemezkuckó. Let's go inside. The moment I entered the shop, I knew I was in trouble. This record shop is insane, and I loved every minute I spent there. At first, all you see is thousands of vinyl records and CDs. Yes, they have them by the thousands. This is the kind of shop that is filled with records up to their ceiling. And on every corner, in every box, you should dig, because you will strike gold. Let's start with the metal section, where I found tons of great albums. They have pretty much the entire catalog of several bands: Status Quo, Nazareth, Whitesnake, Deep Purple, Iron Maiden, Uriah Heep, and others. However, you will have to dig for them, since newer arrivals may be on nearby shelves or in boxes. Like this box located underneath the main display containing Uriah Heep CDs. You just jump in it. Disco and pop are located side by side, and the funny thing is that here they prefer to organize the collection under basic genres instead of trying to open subgenres or decades. Most albums can be found by alphabetical order, but to be honest, with a collection this big and with so many records coming and going every day, it's impossible to keep everything consolidated. I'm fine with that because I am here to dig. And I will get my albums. Here's their jazz collection. Lemezkuckó has spent decades accumulating great albums, and it shows. I love it because I enjoy digging and browsing through the shelves, because I know I'm going to discover great stuff. Their jazz collection morphs into their blues collection, and the blues collection morphs into classic rock. And it's all unbelievably good. I'm seriously having fun here. Although the majority of the collection consists of used records, they also have new releases. Plus, it's clear to me that over the years, they have absorbed the inventory of other record shops. This means that you will find used albums, new albums, and older releases from 20 years ago, still factory sealed, like this Willie and the Poor Boys and this Cosmos Factory by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Ooh, I love it. Also, in a shop this big, you should never look in just one genre, since certain artists sit well in different genres, and what you call blues can also be rock. Inside the rock section, we'll find dance and electronic, and everything in between, which means that some pop stuff can also be found here. I like it because I am constantly being surprised by great artists and records I completely forgot. The continuation of rock is on the other side of the room, and it will get better and better. So I guess they knew I was coming and they prepared a joke for me. Right here with Led Zeppelin, I found this one and only James Last. Now, that's some sense of humor. Well done, my friends, well done. Lemezkuckó has the complete King Crimson, Genesis, ABBA, Dire Straits, and many other bands' entire catalogs. That is something. The rock albums continue on the shelves, and remember what I said about the boxes? Well, here we have the Rolling Stones waiting for you. Tons of it. Right next to them, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Roxy Music is right next to Rush. Demis Roussos, close to Lou Reed. and a shelf with more Rolling Stones. And this McCartney seems lost. That's okay, Paul, we'll find your home. Lots of Queen, The Police, Prince, R.E.M. And of course, Zappa. Tons of Zappa. Here's a box with Rick Wakeman. And at the very top shelf, I found one of my favorite albums. All Stewart's Year of the Cat from 1976. Get this album, you'll thank me later. Now, they have a section called Black Music, where you can find soul, hip-hop, some disco, and other related genres. Here's one of my favorite albums, Round 2 by The Stylistics. Get this album, you'll thank me later. Another section is called Oldies, where you will find mainly singers, crooners, easy listening, some jazz, doo-wop, and early rock. Artists from the 40s to the 70s, and here's one of my favorite albums, Procol Harum Live from 1972. I'm gonna buy it because I gave mine years ago to someone I love. Here's Bonnie Guitar's first album, Moonlight and Shadows. Beautiful. And of course, there is a large Beatles section with the Beatles themselves and all the other albums released about the Beatles. Here's one of my favorites, Here, There and Everywhere by Zoran Solskjaer. Get this album, you'll thank me later. On a column nearby, I found more great albums they consider oldies. Lots of Bee Gees, the Beach Boys, the Byrds, and many other great artists. Now, at Lemezkuckó, everywhere you dig, there is gold. This means you should never dismiss a box of CDs or vinyl because you will find good stuff there too. Here's an example. Lots of great stuff here. Some boxes and bags are filled with compilations, and you may find some rare stuff. Like these compilation volumes from Backline Records, filled with great songs. I found several volumes here. They are all remastered. The film soundtrack section is not very big, but it contains good titles too. Their Hungarian music section is quite large. I don't know enough about Hungarian music, but here are some titles I know. Oh my god, A Fekete Ember by Kalaka from 1984. Get this album, you'll thank me later. Oh, Lokomotiv GT. This is a fun album from 1984. Ezek a Fiatalok from 1967. Beautiful. I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing, but that's how I always call them. Now let's go back to rock for a minute. I found these boxes under the display. Let's check and see what great stuff they are hiding. Ooh, stunning jazz. some great Springsteen, and a pack of Carlos Santana. There you go. But if you think this is all the Santana, it isn't. There is more here. And more. And more great jazz. Now let's move to the classical music section. It is admirable. Here you're gonna find an incredible number of great titles. This is perhaps the most well-curated classical music section I've ever seen in a record shop in a long time. It speaks for itself. Also, the biggest selection of Hungaroton CDs I've ever seen. This huge pile is yet to be sorted, but I can imagine the treasures inside. I just feel like rolling on top of it, but that would be too much. If you enjoy classical music on CD, Lemezkuckó is the place to go. And don't forget to look at the boxes. Lemezkuckó is an incredible repository with decades of absorbing other collections. This means that anywhere you look, there are great records. This is end of part 1. On part 2, we're going over their vinyl collection and a few surprises they have for you. In the meantime, please like and subscribe. And please remember, visit record shops, buy records. Music is life. Thank you very much.